Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be sharing my #1 favorite product from 10 Sephora brands. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so just jumping right in. The first brand I decided to talk about is Dior, and I don't have a huge frame of reference when it comes to Dior. I have tried out their super popular blushes, which I really enjoy. The Powder No Powder is currently in my project pan. I do not like the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation, but my very favorite product from the brand is the Backstage Face and Body Primer. This is such a random product to be my #1, but I do love this. This just comes in a little squeeze tube, and it just looks like this. And as you blend it out, it gives that kind of silicone feel like the Smashbox Original Photo Finish Primer, and it kind of just blends into nothing almost. It's got that sort of silicone feel, but it leaves the skin so smooth, and it just creates the best base for makeup. I was working on my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer for the longest time, so I haven't been reaching for this, but now I finally can. I am so excited to go back to just using this. I love this one so much. Like I said, it just creates the smoothest base to work off of. It's not too much. It doesn't provide the most hydration, but it just smooths everything out. It's like blending your foundation over silk. It is so nice. I absolutely love this. I think this is a very underrated product because I really don't hear anybody talk about it, but I think it is definitely one of the very best that Dior has to offer. Okay, the next brand is Lawless, and I really enjoy a lot of Lawless products. I love their eyeshadows. I like their lipsticks. I am very excited to try out their newly reformulated lipsticks. I'm very excited for that. I really love their lip liners as well. I actually went through an entire one, but the product that has been growing on me the most is the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. This is one that I know everybody else has been talking about and loving for such a long time, and I really like them too, but only recently have I started reaching for these all the time. So I actually have the shade Rosy Outlook on my lips today. It's such a light pink that it's almost clear, which is why I went for this one. I also have the shade Daisy Pink, which is just a really beautiful baby pink. I love these glosses. I do think these are the best. They do make the lips look so full and plump, but they don't cause any pain or stinging sensation. There is the slightest tingle, but it just kind of feels cold, if anything, and I don't mind that at all. I do not like the painful sting, but these actually are as good as everyone says they are. I really do love these. I think Lawless really has some really amazing products. Not every product is going to work for everybody. Like I mentioned, I have one from them that I don't like, but I like pretty much everything else they release, so I still get very excited for their launches. And I don't think they're a brand that launches too much. They launch infrequently enough that their new products are still very exciting. Okay, getting into Makeup by Mario. This one is hard because I love a lot from his brand as well. There is not much I don't like. When I had to really consider my top favorite, I would have to go with his new foundation, and this is the Surreal Skin Foundation. I guess this really isn't that new at this point. This did come out about 6 months ago, but I love this. So if you have dry skin, this is a dream. I love this foundation. It's not my all-time favorite foundation, but it's close. It ranks very high. So first of all, the bottle is absolutely beautiful. He spared no expense when it came to packaging, which I do appreciate given the price point. I don't think this foundation works well for those with oily skin. I heard people with oily skin just mention that it was way too glowy and that it wasn't the most long lasting. I heard that as well, But on my dry skin, this wears all day long. It looks super flawless. I can use a brush, I can use a sponge. They both work great. I can go in really light or I can build the coverage. And for me, it lasts all day and it just gives me such a pretty luminosity to my skin. So I really, really love this. Again, I have dry skin, so that makes sense to me, but I love his foundation. His lip products are also phenomenal. His powder bronzer I also really enjoy, but this has to be my absolute favorite. Okay, the next brand I wanted to talk about is Merit. So Merit is another brand that I have tried a lot of products from. But my very, very favorite is actually their lipsticks. So the lipstick packaging, it is really pretty, but it kind of drives me crazy that they're upside down. I don't know why, that is just a me thing. I do have two shades. My very favorite is called Baby, and it is a beautiful, beautiful pinky nude. This one actually lives in my purse. I love this one so much. But I also have Aperitif, which is a red, and this is such a phenomenal red. So it's just very, very pretty. So first of all, this red, I think they just brought it back to their permanent line. It was initially a limited edition shade that was in one of their gift sets for the holidays, but it was very, very loved, so I think they actually brought it back. What I love about these lipsticks is that they are so comfortable on the lips. So they are a cream formula. They're not matte. They are just so comfortable, so hydrating on the lips. It feels like a lip balm, but they are very opaque. They have a ton of pigment and they just look so beautiful. They don't enhance lines on the lips and they are actually very, very long wearing. So that is the thing that I was most surprised about Aperitif. So I tried this one out near the holidays, and typically with a bullet lipstick, I'm not expecting it to last all day long, especially not a red, but I am expecting it to fade out pretty quickly, especially as I'm eating or drinking or anything like that. This red actually stuck around all day long. I was so incredibly impressed. I looked in the mirror not at all expecting to see my lipstick still there, and it was, and I was just absolutely blown away. So I do highly recommend, if you're looking for a red, Aperitif from Merit is absolutely amazing, but if you're just looking for a nude, I think you would really, really enjoy Baby. But any of the lipsticks in their line are phenomenal. These are just my favorites. Baby, again, is just your perfect everyday nude, and Aperitif is going to be an incredible red, especially for the holidays or any time of year that you want. But if you're looking for a long wearing red lipstick and you don't want to deal with a liquid lip, I think you would really like the ones from Merit. Next is Nars. I think if you're familiar with my channel, you know exactly what I'm going to say. It is the light reflecting foundation. I'm not going to stay here long. I love this so much. I'm a big fan of Nars in general. I love their lip products. I love their cheek products. I really enjoy their eyeshadow formula. It is incredibly wearable. Their complexion products, so good. But this is the one that I cannot live without. This is my all-time favorite foundation. I've never enjoyed a foundation more than this one. This one blends out so quickly, so seamlessly. It looks so good on my skin. It gives my skin such a nice radiance without being too glowy, because there is a such thing as too glowy, even from a dry skin girl. There is a such thing as too glowy. And this doesn't do that. It just makes it look like my skincare is really working for me and perfectly evens out my skin. I love it so, so much. This is the best foundation there is. It's expensive, but I will 100% be repurchasing it as soon as I run out. Okay, the next product is another one that I'm not going to talk about too long, but the next brand is Natasha Denona, and I pulled the Mini Biba palette. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. I've raved about this so many times. I have also worn this on camera a ton. I just love this. My most favorite is the shimmer right in the middle that is just so, so beautiful. These peachy tones are just very flattering on my skin. I've said many times that Natasha Denona is my favorite brand for eyeshadows. I stand by that. I have been absolutely loving her new concealer. I did want to mention that. It is amazing. I am wearing it today and I love it, but I still love this more. So I had to give Natasha's to the Mini Biba. Okay, from Pat McGrath, I feel like I have tried pretty much everything from Pat McGrath at this point, and I really enjoy a lot of her products. I'm wearing one of her palettes today. I do love her eyeshadow palettes. Her lip products are gorgeous. Her complexion products are amazing. But I think the thing that I have used the most and that I naturally am just inclined to reach for is her blush, particularly in the shade Flirtatious. So I do have her blushes in a few shades. I have another single in the shade Cherish, which is a really bright pink. I have one of her face palettes, which has Divine Rose and Desert Orchid, both shades that I really, really love. But Flirtatious is by far my favorite. It is such a neutral, rosy blush. I love this one so much. This one just goes with everything. Absolutely love it. There's just something special about the tone, the way this blends out on the skin, the way it sticks around all day, and it just goes with everything. Absolutely love this, and I think the detail she put into this product is amazing. The packaging, I love the black acrylic packaging. I love the flower embossment in the blush itself. The flower embossment, I have used this blush an awful lot and I have not yet lost that embossment, so I still think that's impressive. Overall, I think this is definitely my favorite product from Pat McGrath. Again, she's got a lot. I almost listed her lip glosses as my favorite because she does have probably my favorite lip gloss formula next to the Lawless, but I had to give it to this one because I use this so much more. Okay, 3 brands left. The next brand I pulled out is Patrick Ta. So this is another brand that I have mostly hits. I love almost everything. The little foundation and powder duo, absolutely not a fan, but everything else so far I have really, really loved and enjoyed. But I decided to pull out his Major Dimension Volume 2 palette. I have heard people mentioning mold in their palettes. That has fortunately not happened to me yet in either one of my palettes, the first one or this one. Hopefully it does not. I have heard there is another palette of his coming out this year. Not confirmed, but I've heard it and I'm really excited about it. The first Major Dimension palette he released was really, really good. It's all neutral browns, which we know I love. But something about this is so special. The pinks are so, so pretty. The shimmers are gorgeous. And the formula on this one is somehow better than the first one. There's something about the blendability, and there's just something about the shimmers. They're a little bit smoother. They still have the same reflective, sparkly properties as the first one, but there's something about this one where they're just a little bit smoother and easy to work with. I absolutely love this palette. This is probably one of my very, very favorite pink palettes in my collection. I do really enjoy this one. Next, I have Rare Beauty. And this one's tough because I also love a lot from Rare Beauty. Again, their lip products, the bronzer stick I'm a big fan of. The new highlights, love those. But I think the product that I love the most is the under eye brightener. So this is actually so, so lovely. This can go under concealer, on top of concealer, or you can wear it alone for a no makeup look. So this does just have a really cooling metal tip, which actually does feel so nice on the under eyes. And it also prevents you from getting too much product, which is also much appreciated. But this is just so nice. It feels so nice. It blends out so lovely under the eyes. And it really does just give the eyes a little something extra. It brightens them up beautifully. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous product. If you're wanting to do concealer as well, I recommend putting this under your concealer because it does help the concealer brighten the under eyes without giving too much radiance or shine to the under eyes, if that makes sense. So that's my recommendation, but I absolutely love this. This is one of the very, very best from the brand. The last brand we're going to talk about today is Saie, and I had a few here that I want to talk about also. I really, really love their new foundation. I think that's beautiful, but I've loved a lot of their products, but my very favorite so far has been the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I love this one still. So I do have the shade Light Bronze. I know they released more shades, so there's one that's actually lighter than this one now, and I kind of want to get it. But this is one of my favorite cream bronzers. This is, like I said, very creamy, and it's pigmented, but it's also sheer enough that it blends out very, very easily without blending away. If you're new to cream bronzer and you're just kind of starting to get interested, but you don't want something that is going to be so incredibly pigmented, I would recommend starting with this because that's kind of what I did. I think the one from Kaja got my attention first and I really, really liked it, but then I tried this and I started playing with it and understanding that this is very blendable but buildable. Then I started getting into more pigmented cream bronzers, and now I just absolutely love cream bronzer, an unhealthy amount. So I would recommend the Say. It just, again, it is very, very blendable. You can make it look so natural, or you can build it up if you want to, but it's just incredibly blendable and easy to work with. So I absolutely love this one. This has to be one of my all-time favorites. And that is it. That is my #1 favorite product from 10 brands at Sephora. Let me know down below if you'd be interested in seeing like a part 2 with 10 different brands from Sephora. I can do that as well. These are just the 10 that were kind of on the top of my mind today. But that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!